Hi, welcome to Azoden Tech Support. Today I'm going to demonstrate the takedown of the Azoden Blitz. Here we have a 2011 Azoden Blitz. Its operating pressure is 400 psi. First thing to do is remove the barrel. Twist the barrel counterclockwise until it is completely separate from the marker. All Azoden markers use auto-cocker barrel threads. The next thing to do would be to remove the bolt and bolt assembly. First, we will remove the bolt by pulling up on the silver pin on top of the bolt. You can then slide the bolt directly back out of the gun and place it aside. The next thing to do will be to remove the rear velocity adjustment cap. This is at the back of the gun. Twist it counterclockwise until it is completely free from the marker. Place it aside. You can now remove the main spring, striker buffer, and the striker itself. You'll notice that the striker has an orange O-ring at the end of it. This O-ring is proprietary in size and cannot be replaced with any other O-ring. The next thing we will do is remove the regulator from the front of the marker. In order to do that, we will need to separate the macro line from the hose fitting. The easiest way to get the macro line out of the hose fitting is to use a pair of pliers to gently press forward on the rim of the hose fitting while simultaneously pulling backwards on the hose. Using your thumb to press forward and your index finger and middle fingers to pull back, the macro line comes out very easily. You may then unscrew the regulator by twisting it counterclockwise until it comes free from the vertical ASA. Place this to the side. Now, inside the vertical ASA, there is a 4mm Allen screw which holds the nose cone onto the front of the gun. Using a 4mm Allen wrench, I will remove this screw. You may then place the vertical ASA to the side, being careful to note that there is an R015 O-ring on top of it. Keep this for later reassembly. The front cone of the gun then pulls out, revealing the valve spring, cup seal, and valve. You may place these to the side. The next step will be removing the trigger frame from the marker. The trigger frame is held on by two 3mm Allen screws on the underside of the frame itself, one in the trigger well and the other at the rear of the marker. Using your 3mm Allen key, remove these screws. There is an eye wire that connects the marker to the body, from the body to the trigger frame. You will need to remove this wire by opening up the grip panel. The left grip panel will give you the best access to the inside of the trigger frame. Using a 2.5mm Allen screw, using a 2.5mm Allen wrench, remove the 3 screws that hold the grip panel onto the grip frame. Place it aside. The eye wire is the bottommost wire harness along the left side of the circuit board. You will see it also as being the thickest black wire in the marker. Simply pull this up and out of its harness. It will then slide through the top of the trigger frame until the trigger frame comes free from the marker body. Place this to the side. You have now revealed the valve set screw on the bottom of the marker. Using a 4mm Allen wrench, remove the valve set screw, which will release the valve inside the marker body. Set this aside. Now, in order to remove the silver valve from the inside of the marker body, take your barrel swab and push it inside gently, and you'll see that the valve falls out. When reassembling the valve, it is important to note that there is a wider hole and a smaller hole along the axis of the valve. The smaller hole always points back, no matter what the version of valve, no matter what the marker. Wider hole always points forward, smaller hole always points backward. Another important feature to note is that on the top and bottom of the valve body, there is a set screw recessed hole that does not go all the way through to the center of the valve. And then there is an air vent hole that does go all the way through to the center of the valve. Always make sure the air vent hole, which goes through to the center of the valve, is pointing up towards the feed neck of the marker when you reinsert. In order to remove the eye wires and access ball detents, we will use the 2.5mm Allen key and first remove the eye covers. This will reveal the eye wires and ball detents. It does not matter which eye wire is on the left or right of the marker. You will see that there is a yellow lead and a red lead. These are inconsequential. You can put them in any order you wish, just as long as one is on the left of the body and one is on the right. Ball detents must go all the way through their set holes into the breech of the gun in order for them to be effective. This concludes the takedown of the 2011 Azotin Blitz. See you next time.